to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
I came in the court.
Okay, that's fine. You're gonna be here on... Let me tell you how this is gonna work. You're gonna be...
You're gonna tell me shit.
Listen.
Suck my dick.
Shut up, listen to me.
Suck my dick, you fuck man.
Listen.
Suck my dick.
You'll be here in the court on
You'll
Monday.
be here sucking my dick.
You will listen to me now.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how this is gonna work. You either listen or not. I don't care.
I'm through. Can I leave the courtroom?
No.
No, you've got to stay here.
No, I'm not talking to the bastard.
We are going to have the trial Monday week.
No, the fuck we are. I ain't going to trial with this lawyer president.
Listen, if you do not...
Suck my dick, you stinking ass cracker.
You act like this, I will send you out of the courtroom.
Old bitch ass cracker.
Leave you out of the courtroom during the trial.
Horse ass cracker.
Do you understand
Horse
that?
ass dick sucking ass.
Do you understand that?
Butt,
Do you understand that?
Ass cracker.
Do you understand that?
Mad ain't you?
Stupid.
Red face.
Listen.
Now you're calling me stupid?
Listen. Yes, I am.
This is kangaroo court.
You know what? You have a constitutional right to be a dumbass.
It's just a coincidence that you were talking about the Jack and Triumph show and I'm here. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, guy who makes all those unlistenable podcasts over at Smodcast.com, and you're listening to the Two Strangers, One Podcast. This is podcasting.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net. Now, here's Chris Colon and Paul Pasquillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And we are live streaming this right now. We are live. Prime time. It's about 10 minutes to 9.
You're very excited
Eastern
about this.
Standard Time. Yes, I'm very excited.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure you don't take the Mountain Dew home with you.
My life is very empty, Paul. And so little things like this make me excited, make me happy. Once again, I want to shout out to our two viewers right now. Cello, childhood friend, actually my brother's best friend growing up.
I'm waiting for Darrell to show up.
And Darrell should show up any second.
I'm
It's
sure
prime
he
time.
will.
So like right now, even on the East Coast, it's about to hit 9 o'clock. So on the East Coast, it's going to be just about 6 o'clock. This is when the whole world is getting on their computers. People are probably in front of their... Is the DNC convention tonight? Is it starting?
Yep,
tonight?
it's on right now.
So we are your counter programming for the DNC. Instead of listening to
counter
programming. Yeah, instead of watching the DNC, you can see us live stream the podcast. And so I guess we should just get right down to business. Obviously, San Diego Comic-Con. Get down to business, talking to the microphone. That's what she said. First thing, San Diego Comic-Con. Just finished. 1 year, I promise I'll go. 1 year, I'll make plans. If we get... Because it's all run by the same people that run the New York Comic-Con. So I'm wondering if maybe we could get a press pass, and do it under... Because I got the past 3 years have been under a press pass under the Toonami Faithful. I'm not going to lie. Thank you, Paul. So,
that's right.
So Paul's other baby, the Toonami Faithful, has gotten me press passes for the past 3 years of... Was it 3 years? 2 years? This is year number 3, excuse me.
3. Yeah.
So I do have a press pass. I feel bad for those friends of mine who don't have press passes.
No, you don't. You're throwing it in their face right now.
Well, no, I'm not.
And you're doing it live. So now you're screwed.
You could also pay for it. If I didn't have the press pass, I would have seen what I can to get money to pay for it. I'd sell my ass. I'd go. Here in Rochester, the local...
You mean you haven't sold your ass already?
The local horse spot is Lyle Avenue, so I'll go down to Lyle Avenue and sell my ass.
I think it's every street in Rochester, but okay, continue.
Yeah, or down Monroe, which helps me get into my first story. Oh no, we'll get into San Diego Comic-Con in the second half of the news. For those who are just watching for the first time. Oh, Jen's joined us. Hi, Jen! Hi, Jen. Jen's been on a couple episodes. Jen, I promise, one day when this asshole isn't available, I'll...
You mean when you get an internet connection?
When I get an internet connection. No, no. When Jen's been on a couple episodes and we recorded it in her house, or maybe when I get an internet connection, maybe we could all do like a united Skype thing. But not that you like me coming over to your house, but the kids play together. Your daughter and Kelsia's daughter, my daughter and Kelsia's daughter play together. So,
and we're in the Bat Cave now.
Yeah, we go downstairs. The kids go upstairs and have a ball and watch movies and stuff like that. So we kind of, hey, look, guys could be doing worse things. We could be out in the bar. We could be chasing women. We could be doing drugs, getting drunk. We're sitting down here talking about comic book movies.
We're not supposed to be doing that?
We're not supposed to be doing that, okay. No. We're a much different generation than our fathers. we could be out whoring it up or getting into bar fights and stuff like that. No, that's not. We sit around.
If you could be whoring it up, you'd be a very happy.
Yeah, I'm too broke to whore it up. If I had money, I would so whore it up. I'd have a whore, a maid, and a chef, and and that's it. I'm pretty good. After that,
if you're not watching it live right now, you'll see me shaking my head.
So we'll get back to the San Diego Comic-Con stuff in the second half of the news. Wait, hold on. Okay, I shared the link on our Facebook page. I wonder if did you share it on your page? Or should I tag you in it, or whatever? This is interesting podcasting. Did you share the link on?
Nah,
you didn't
share the link. It needs to go on your page.
Scumbag.
I'm trying to figure out how to put it on your page, so I don't even want to hear it.
I'm gonna share on a friend's page. You gotta love this. Okay, share on a friend's timeline. Paul. Okay, sorry about this, people. This is just the beauty of the internet where we have to do things. I successfully shared.
This is
with
where
Paul.
he tortures me.
Okay, like I mentioned, Monroe Avenue, which is notorious for having prostitutes in the middle of the night. Whores. I love whores. I've actually have transferred out of my store yet again. Another transfer. I was working in a store that was a 24-hour store, and I had sent several emails to my boss saying that I don't want to work overnights. It's very stressful. It fucks up my sleep patterns. By the time the days come, because I have my daughter on my days off, so by the time my days off come, I'm sleeping all day because I have my daughter with me. I want to fucking spend time with her. I don't want to be
sleeping all
day. Catching up on the sleep that I missed from working all week overnights. And then there was a situation where I wouldn't even call it a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. I made the best possible decision on something, addressing an issue that I've never had to address before, that I've never had to address, or I don't think anybody's ever addressed before. And
do tell?
Well, part of my job is what they call reconciling of the drawers. Is this interesting, people? Part of my job is what they call reconciling the drawers. You go and you count down the drawer at the end of the day, make sure that it has what it's supposed to have, and then reset it. Most drawers start out with like $100 in it or whatever. So it turns out during the day, in the middle of the day, someone in the other part of the store where I don't work logged off a drawer, logged it back on, and so now the numbers were way off. So I had reconciled the drawer. This is really fucking boring. I had reconciled the drawer the first time using the money that was in the drawer. Now, actually, that left us with the numbers being over. It's saying you're over, and I remember correctly, like it was $188 or something like that. So then you reconcile it again with the second set of numbers. They logged the drawer back on, and then at the end of the day, logged it off again. And then you reconcile with the second set of numbers, which then it was short. And it was short $190. So somewhere during the day, between 188 and 190, cancel each other out. Not a fucking problem, on paper, as long as things balance each other out, because we'll have a shortage one day and then it goes into the next day, right, and then it balances itself out. Well, my manager decided this was the time that he was going to fucking chew me out and all this other shit, because he came at me like cursing, being really fucking rude. And once again, this wasn't some malicious, angry fucking thing. As all the fucking horrible things that I do, this isn't one of those times where I was doing something malicious. I was handling the problem the best way I thought possible. And he came at me cursing and yelling and all this shit. And then I contacted my district manager and I said, you got to get me the fuck out of that store. There's, one, I don't want to work overnights. Right. And when I do, I explained the mistake to him. And like I said, I don't think it was a mistake. I think I handled it the best way possible. And especially that it balanced itself up. And so I said, look, I'm fucking contacting my union rep and a lawyer if I need to, but get me the fuck out of that store. Well, needless to say, with that, they had transferred me to I'm working in a much more chilled out store. For those people who listen to the podcast, they'll know that, I got punched in the face earlier this year at work, and, not many people, only professional fighters should have to say this, I got punched in the face at work. But, so...
Hi, my name's Chris Cologne, and I got punched in the face.
I got punched in the face at work, from a guy that was shoplifting. So back then I was kind of saying, I was asking to transfer to other stores. The store that I'm going to now is one of the stores on my list. It's a lot more chilled out. It's a lot more,
Is it close to where I live?
No, it's not close to where you live. It's close to where I used to live, which sucks because now that I moved across town, I wish I I don't wish I had my old apartment because my old apartment was literally just a bedroom with a kitchen on the end of it. But, now to go to the new store, I have to. Okay, so that's enough of, I know we have like our personal stuff in the news. Our last episode, Fucking Idiots, was we were talking about the Philandro Castile deal, and there was
You pissed some people off.
I pissed some people off because I had basically said, because there was some video released a couple of days earlier saying that there's video of him and his girlfriend smoking weed in the car with kids in the car.
Right.
Philandro Castile was known for carrying his weapon. I'm pretty sure he probably had his gun on him while he's smoking weed in the car with kids. Right. And then, as his girlfriend said in the video, they are about to go drive to the fireworks display. So once again, smoking weed in the car, with his girlfriend in the car, with his kids in the car, gun in the car, about to drive under the influence of a drug or whatever. And so, unfortunately, friend of the show, Jody Schaefer, who's actually been a guest on the show, unfortunately was part of, him and I kind of went back and forth on Facebook, and I was like, has the world gone mad that everyone thinks that, everyone's coming to the defending, and they're like, oh, well, the cops shouldn't shoot you because you're smoking weed in the car with your kids. No, I'm not saying, right. I'm not saying cops should shoot you because you're smoking weed in the car with your kids about to drive. I'm saying if you're that kind of person to make such a monumental mistake, right. to make such a series of monumental mistakes, you're probably the type of person that would do something really stupid in front of a cop and get yourself shot. So, unfortunately, once again, friend of the show, Jody Schaefer, him and I kind of went back and forth, and he was like, and like I just said, I'm saying everything that he does, and he says, you're calling a dead man a criminal with nothing beyond the fact that he might have smoked some pot and liked rap music, and the fact that he was black, and the fact that he was black. And he goes, I don't think we could be friends. So he unfriended me. So I feel kind of bad about that because it's one of those deals where, hey Sergio, it's one of those deals where you respect somebody, and there's that phrase, you should never meet your heroes, because if you meet someone that you care about or someone whose work that you love, and then you find out, oh, what if this person's an asshole, or what, in no way am I saying that he's an asshole, but him and I obviously don't see eye to eye on certain things, and then now I guess he thinks I'm an asshole. So I do feel,
well, you are an asshole.
I know I'm an asshole. I really am an asshole, but I didn't want to burn that bridge, and I kind of feel bad about it. In the back last year with Eric Gardner, I fucking lost 2 friends over that. There's an episode dedicated to that called Unfriended. Where I lost 2 friends over the Eric Gardner things. Every time fucking one of these police shootings happen on TV, I'm losing friends because I'm standing by my cop friends. Oh, hello, my cousin Evelise. So basically, cops, stop shooting black guys because I'm losing friends every time it happens. I'm coming to your defense and I'm losing friends because of it. So enough about that. Okay, what's next on the agenda? Okay, this year, Jason David Frank is going to be at New York Comic Con. Again. This is sort of nerdy news, so hopefully we're going to try to get an interview with him now. Maybe it's good being on the record about this, so maybe it can, people will, I'm forced to stay to my word. We're going to try to email his people, because I know I still have the emails, unless he has different representation now. I'm going to try to reach out to him and see, but once again, for followers of the show, they would know that it was us just missing the Jason David Frank interview 2 years ago that I got recruited to be in the Jack and Triumph show, the pilot of the Jack and Triumph show. So, kind of, I guess missing the interview was good luck. So who knows? Maybe we should try and miss the interview again. It'd be another bit of good luck. So we have that. Melania Trump. I had went on a fucking tangent on this. I basically You know,
more than a tangent.
I said, who's writing her speeches? You know, Carlos Mencia, what's her face? Amy Schumer. I said Amy Schumer's writing her because
if it isn't freaking Amy Schumer, it's her.
Let me tell you, go on YouTube after you finish watching this. Go on YouTube and watch Amy Schumer stolen jokes or stealing jokes, because there are, you know, there's comedians where the sketches for her show. There's some in her act, but most of these are ones in her show. And you know what? Okay, in all fairness, when you have someone like Amy Schumer, she doesn't write the show by herself. I mean, there's a room full of comedians. But then again, you know, you would think in a room full of comedians, obviously, I'm not going to know every joke in the world. You know, and I may repeat a fucking dick joke or something like that because I heard it from a comedian. But you would think a room full of comedians, someone would say, "Oh no, we can't use that bit because such and such comedian did it." So, but if you get a chance, or Carlos Mencia, you know, that was kind of a noted one with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan went out, Joe Rogan jumped on stage with Carlos Mencia. You know,
that was fucked up.
You know, to kind of shout him out. And it's actually it's a clip from Joe Rogan's podcast where they talk about Amy Schumer and the bits that she had stolen. So, you know, the jokes I was saying was that Amy Schumer was writing Melania Trump's speeches, which, you know, God knows, as we're recording this right now, God knows what's going on at the DNC convention. You know, there was all types of craziness going on over there. Let me see. We are about 20 minutes in. We have so much Comic-Con stuff. I think we're going to go to break. We're going to go to break on the podcast. We're still live. But we're going to go break on the podcast, and we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes. See, and this is the time usually where we wait, and then...
Are you actually explaining this?
Yeah, I'm explaining it. We'll explain it. And you see, Paul's over here fucking around on his computer when he should be podcasting. I'm over there doing all the fucking talking. No.
It's always what happens anyways. Wait. Whose podcast is it?
Yeah, well, no, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so are you ready?
I'm always ready. I'm just
okay.
Trying to figure something else out.
In 3, 2, and we're back. Okay, Paul, so the first half of the show was only just a quick 20-minute segment of just about, because we were talking about real-life stuff. But let's talk about the stuff that really is important. Let's talk about New York Comic-Con. Excuse me, San Diego Comic-Con. You know, just DC knocking it out of the park. I mean, you know, you got to give.
Well, they got ahead of a lot of things, because usually what's happened with them is they do this. People will send that out on the web, and you know, so some way, fashion, or form, it'll get leaked. So instead of just being like, no, we're not going to do anything, they were like, panel, trailer up.
Yeah.
Panel, trailer
enough,
up.
Yeah, enough of this. Oh shit! I think I just lost the oh, sorry, people. Sorry. Enough of, you know, leaked Hall H footage where someone who can't hold their fucking phone still. You know,
Chris.
The audio's all right. I'm talking shit. We're sitting still in a basement, and I can't keep the phone still. You know, someone in Hall H holding their phone, echoey audio, people laughing, people clapping, people cheering. You know, once again, just trying to hold the phone still. So DC just said, you know what, fuck it. It's going right to YouTube or right to whatever pages that are doing it. So we got, I got a fucking Justice League trailer. Holy shit, the Justice League was so good. You know, finally, the trailer itself was funny. You know, like, you know, when Batman v Superman came out, which once again, smart thinking, they released the Batman v Superman director's cut Blu-ray earlier this week, just in time while they knew this stuff's going to be in the news, so they're smart enough to release it this week. You know, I haven't seen the director's cut yet, but I mean, all the feedback coming back is saying like, oh, you know, 3-hour cut. You know, this should have been the theatrical version. You know, it is really, really good. I you know, once again, people listening to the show, I enjoyed the movie, the original version, the one that everyone said sucked. So I can only imagine I'm probably going to like this one a lot more.
I've seen it.
Oh, you saw the director's cut
of Batman vs Superman?
Yeah. How'd you see it?
It's upstairs, remember?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Paul's Paul gets early release shit and then doesn't fucking share it with me.
No, listen to me.
when
Wait
it's
a
mostly-
minute. The reason you don't have that is why?
Because I don't have Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
Okay.
So damn well.
Come here.
I would have been in here.
You don't even need to be in the house. I'll come here and sit on your couch. I'll clean up after myself.
All of a sudden, like in the middle of the day, I hear. Please let me in to watch it.
I'll be quiet. I brought my own popcorn. So, we had, once again, so Batman v Superman, we got that. As we're recording today, once in another Batman news, as we're recording this right now, we're recording this live, and once again, counter programming, Batman: The Killing Joke is out in movie theaters. It's out. It's a 2-day deal. It's today and tomorrow. I wish I had a couple more dollars. Like, I kind of played with that deal. I was like, "Come on, Paul, let's go see I'll tell your fiance, could you babysit the girls? We're gonna go out to the movies."
He wants me to die, folks. That's what's happening.
No, I mean, it's a once in a lifetime. Today and tomorrow. Of course, it'll be out on Blu-ray and whatever. It'll be out in like 2 weeks or 8 days or something like that. But
and of course, I'll have it eventually.
Yeah, you'll have that also, which you'll never let me watch. But
well, if you get the Wi-Fi, you can have access to my ultraviolet account,
gotcha.
Can't you? That's right.
But so what's your so as we're recording this, like I said, Killing Joke. I guess there was a lot of controversy. You were talking about it before the episode about
So I don't understand why they did this, but apparently, and by the way, what I'm doing over here, might I add, those of you that are looking live, I'm trying to update my computer because it's pissing me off. So that's what I'm trying to do. Because for some odd reason, my webcam doesn't want to show up. So, so apparently, the original guy that did Batman, the Batman the Animated Series,
Bruce Timm, the creative director behind the Batman the Animated Series. Hey, what's up, Eddie? Behind Batman the Animated Series, Bruce Timm, the guy who kind of started that whole stylized, retro futuristic, which it led into the Justice League cartoon. It led into the Superman cartoon.
Right.
The series is so. The fact that we even have Harley Quinn came from Batman the Animated Series. All of this stuff came from what Bruce Timm, or as they call the Timmiverse. So Bruce Timm is the creative director behind this. And this is supposed to take place in that universe. It's supposed to take place in the Batman.
It's a weird kind of thing because I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's like, okay, so this does take place, but it doesn't. Because if you remember, here's the problem with the Batman animated series. It does mention this, but then you have the problem of Batman Beyond entering into this kind of thing. So it's kind of like one of those things where you're just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, well, in Batman Beyond, I think, it goes without saying that in this, and this isn't really a spoiler. I mean, it's the fact that when you have in this book, The Killing Joke, the Joker finds out Barbara Gordon. He finds Barbara Gordon, shows up at her apartment, shoots her basically shoots her, severs her spine, and then takes a whole bunch of pictures of her with the severed spine, all fucked up on the floor, and then sends those pictures to Jim Gordon, so Commissioner Gordon. There are some people who imply maybe she was raped by the Joker, or sexually assaulted, or he was doing weird things with the body. I think they do admit that he takes her clothes off, like in the pictures.
Something.
He basically shoots her in the spine and does like humiliating things. So this movie is R-rated, so they could go along with that. So with her being shot in the spine, when she finally does eventually recover, not recover because she's in a wheelchair, she becomes the Oracle, which is Batman's, Batman already had Alfred sitting back at the Batcave, taking care of stuff, but Alfred's an old man, but he had Barbara Gordon in his ear, there in her wheelchair with 50,000 computers around her. So by the time we get to the Batman Beyond universe, which is supposed to take place in the Batman animated series universe, Barbara Gordon is Commissioner Gordon herself. She's back to being Commissioner Gordon, not in a wheelchair, not, which I could have sworn, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm going to lose my comic book cred for this, but I think she does eventually get back to walking. You know what I'm saying? I think even though she's in a wheelchair, I think somewhere down. I don't think she gets back to walking and jumps back into being the Batgirl suit, but she gets back into where she could not need a wheelchair, and so then that kind of explains with her being Batman, being Commissioner Gordon, and and then again it could have been some future tech. Maybe she got some stem cells injected in her spine or something like that, and now she can walk now. It's the future.
Right.
Who's to say those are her real legs? Maybe she has some sort of nano robot technology in her legs or something like that. She built her own robot legs or something that gets her legs to move.
There's also we also have to talk about the fact that apparently she was pregnant with Bruce Wayne's kid at one point.
So that's the huge off tangent that they do in this movie, where in this one Batman and Batgirl fuck.
Yes.
They screw around, which is not in canon. It's not, that doesn't happen. I think they just.
The problem is it's been weaved. There's so many things that have happened. Not with the new 52 as they've deemed it. This isn't in this, so this was completely wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of weird. Actually, speaking of the new 52, it's actually kind of fucked up because what's her name, Talia, rapes Bruce Wayne.
Oh yeah, Talia al Ghul. Yeah,
and gets pregnant with his kid. So I guess the fair play, but so. I guess how the story goes is, and it's, I haven't seen the movie. I wasn't at San Diego Comic-Con, so that's where they debuted it. It's actually playing in theaters tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, it's playing tonight as we record this.
But the thing that's really weird is, I love how I have like a microphone across my face.
He's used to it now. I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Speak directly into the mic. No.
So she basically is like obsessed with Batman.
She's like a stalker.
Yeah, she's like she's not like a stalker, but she's obsessed with Batman. So that's how she becomes Batgirl, because she wants to, impress him and get around him, and she does. And then all of a sudden, she somehow convinces him to sleep with her.
Daddy
I guess.
Issues.
Yeah.
She's got daddy
and
daddy wasn't
then
there.
He's kinda,
Dad's too busy being a commissioner.
And then all of a sudden, he's like, "Okay, well, look, we shouldn't have done this. I can't do that again. Like that's just wrong." Which I think everybody in that situation probably kind of be like, "Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have done that." So
Hi, Suzanne. Sorry.
And apparently, who was it?
Okay.
I'm trying to think who it was. That was the whole reason in this kind of continuum why Robin left, because he was like, "Fuck you, you slept with Barbara," kind of thing. So,
well, Robin, because I couldn't sleep with you. I really wanted to. And why do you think I had you running around with just underwear on and boots and a cape?
Oh Lord! Thank God for Damian Wayne. Anyways,
let me have any.
So, and then I guess it goes. It just that all of a sudden then meshes into the Killing Joke, where, Joker, and it's not really clear. I don't know. You've read Killing Joke.
I read the Killing Joke. Yeah.
Now, is it clear that he knows that she's Batgirl, or does he just do that?
No. He does it just to piss off Commissioner Gordon.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah,
he does it just to piss off Commissioner. Then later on, he finds out that she's Batgirl.
Oh, really?
And he goes, oh wow, I didn't even mean to do it then. Like, I think there's even like a joke where he says something to the effect of like, I would do worse if I knew it was Batgirl or something like that, or he says something to that effect. So,
well, and here's the interesting thing though. It's, I don't know what happens in the movie. I don't know if Batman actually kills him, but I would assume this is why, because it's. If anybody's seen, and I think it was called Birds of Prey, the series that they tried at Warner Brothers there.
Yeah, back when Smallville was doing okay.
Right. So the story goes basically what happened was I think in that storyline he locked up Joker for good, He didn't kill Joker, but he locked him up for good. But because that happened, he stopped being Batman. He was like, I'm done. But what ends up happening is, that's what happened. Barbara Gordon gets, she gets, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm tired.
Paralyzed?
Paralyzed, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she somehow, and this was another weird part. So it's kind of like, wait a minute. So this happened, but then you also have, so you have to admit that she was pregnant with his kid at one point, but then you have Selena Kyle, who actually was pregnant and had his kid, and then Joker kills Selena Kyle.
Oh.
And that's what causes the whole Batman's like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And then, his daughter.
This is in that Birds of Prey.
Yeah, it's weird. I have to go back and watch.
I remember the Birds of Prey. I remember that it was what? Well, there was Oracle, Barbara Gordon, Oracle.
Right.
She was still in the wheelchair, and then they also had, I think it was supposed to be the kid between Batman and the Huntress.
Right.
Because there wasn't. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember what they did with what happened with Catwoman in that show, and it could be that the Joker killed her. But this was supposed to be, the Huntress, which is basically female Batman. That he had a kid with her, and so it's Barbara Gordon still in a wheelchair with the Huntress, with the Batman Huntress child, and there was some other girl on the show.
Yeah,
so
it gets weird, but like you've seen like flashes of this kind of, so it's going to be interesting to see if Batman actually does like kill the Joker in this.
Yeah, I think it's still if I remember correctly, the last couple panels, like the Joker's telling a joke, and Batman just like you see Batman's kind of hand reach over, and the Joker's laughing, and then the last panel he's not laughing anymore.
Right.
So it's implied. Right? It's one of those deals where you do what you project what you think. If you think he killed him, he killed him. If you don't think he killed him.
And honestly, like I would be honest, I would not be surprised if he does actually kill him. Because,
and
because it does say like there is a part in the Killing Joke, and it actually shows it in the trailer, where I think it shows it in the trailer, or you hear him say it like it's going to come down to me and you. One of us is going to have to die or something at some point. So. Obviously.
And it's the same thing like when they're talking about after he shoots Batgirl, does he rape her? I think it's one of those deals where, well, now, in all honesty, in all fairness, I think the article you read before the podcast was that Bruce Timm said no, there's no rape. He just humiliated
right,
her,
and he said if he knew,
if he, I don't think he implies rape, but I think it's one of those deals where I think they purposefully left it open in the comics. One, because you'd be violating all types of rules if you just straight up said it. But then,
right.
it's one of those deals where if you leave it open for your own mind to think what the Joker did to her freaking, paralyzed corpse, then, it makes it 10 times worse of whatever they could. They could have put anything on the page. Where your mind goes is 100 times worse than anything they put on the page.
Exactly.
Okay, so enough Killing Joke stuff. Let's stick with Batman, though. Justice League trailer. Holy shit, the Justice League trailer was so good. I wasn't expecting it. I thought maybe I would, I get it, maybe a teaser, Now the one obvious thing is there's no Superman in this movie. It's called the Justice League.
Well, there's no Superman yet.
You don't see Superman, but obviously there's one like promotional photo where you see all the characters, and you see there is a promotional photo, and I don't think it's a Photoshop. Promotional photo with all the characters standing there. Superman is there. So apparently, spoiler alert, the Batman v Superman doesn't exactly, doesn't end the way it's supposed to end, where it's where you think he's obvious, and then again they kind of like the 2 seconds right before it cuts out, you see the little rocks rising off his coffin or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, spoiler alert, people, spoiler alert. But I think if you're listening to this podcast, you've seen Batman v Superman by now. But the trailer is so good. Like I said, I thought we were going to get like a teaser. I thought it'd be logos and people talking and stuff like that. No, I mean they've started filming. You got Ben Affleck looking fucking badass as usual. Going up to some. I'm assuming it's some sort of like Alaskan village or whatever where he visits. There's man who when our waters freeze over, he brings us enough fish to last through the winter, and he does this every year on the high tide, and of course he turns around with fucking Jason Momoa, Arthur Curry, the name of the character. And by that time, Bruce Wayne has like a little bit of a beard. I guess he had to like go down, he had to fucking probably take snow dogs and shit. He's Batman. He could have taken the fucking Batwing to the Arctic, but he kind of has like a beard. Then my favorite part of the whole trailer, when he visits Barry Allen, the Flash, which of course is going to have a bit of a pushback because people have fallen in love with the CW Flash. So this kid has big shoes to fill. But I liked what they did with him in the trailer. You know what I'm saying? I like that they made him awkward. They made him a little bit nerdy. This is like, I'm recruiting a team. Like, I'm in. Like, you're not even gonna, you're not even gonna like ask any more questions. He goes, no, I need friends. Which is, I like that they're kind of keeping him nerdy. And then friggin', Bruce Wayne just throws a fucking batarang at him, which I think is pretty funny. He uses the Speed Force and catches it. You see
like a bunch of electricity, actually.
Yeah, well, I think it's supposed to. What I like about in this one is that it looks like a little different than what they're doing on the CW. It looks like he almost has to rev up a little bit. Like it doesn't like he isn't like he goes from 0 to 1 billion miles per hour. He kind of has to like charge up a bit. If you watch the trailer, he kind of pauses for a moment, and it's sort of like maybe getting himself up, and then I like that. It's a little different. The costume, for some reason, when you see him in Batman v Superman, when he's like, when he's like a ghost, Lois Lane is the key to all of this. He looks stupid. He doesn't look good in that part in Batman v Superman, but he does look good in this trailer. You see Gal Gadot. How do you pronounce Gal Gadot? So. She's in the trailer. You only see her minimally, but then again, you don't really have to because she has her own trailer that came out this weekend.
That's true.
But in this one, it's funny because she's wearing like workout gear. Like, I guess if you're going to be amongst the humans, you can't be walking around in fucking Xena the Warrior Princess clothes all the time. She's in like Under Armour or whatever, and so she's there helping out Batman recruit the rest. They don't show too much of Cyborg. I wish they did. Of all the, but after Batman, Cyborg's my favorite. So I want to see more Cyborg. He's not going to get his movie until like 2020. So it just looks good, and even if it's just scenes of I'm recruiting people, I'm recruiting people. Swear to me, I'm trying to create a team, and of course the big obvious. Not obvious, but a lot of people saying, "Where's Green Lantern? Is Green Lantern going to be in this movie? Are they going to even? Are they even going to try to address Green Lantern?" Then again, they do say Ferris. They do say Ferris. Ferris Air, whatever. Ferris. What's the word I'm looking for? Ferris Industries or whatever. They do mention it in Batman v Superman, but just in passing. Like I think when Lois Lane is trying to talk to the senator. And he's like, oh, you probably want to talk to someone from Ferris or something. So, at least there's some sort of acknowledgement to Green Lantern. But I don't. In no way am I saying that we're gonna get a Green Lantern. But it's sort of obvious that he's missing. Maybe they're still looming. They're still kind of. They're still kind of gun shy after the Ryan Reynolds.
No,
Green Lantern. Like we got to give it a little more time. But. And once again, there's two more Earth-based. There's a couple more, but you could go Guy Gardner, you could go Jon Stewart. My hope would be you get Matt Damon. Matt Damon is Guy Gardner.
Oh god! You just really want to see those two in the same universe.
He does Jason Bourne. He could do an action. He could do action. He could do comedy. He was in Dogma and shit like that. So, but that's just me. That's just my. They wouldn't get Matt Damon. They'd probably get a really good no name because like the kid playing Flash is a no name. The kid playing Cyborg is a no name. Gal Gadot was a no name when they announced her as Wonder Woman.
And I think they did. They chose well actually.
Yeah, you do it because then you make them household names. You can't
go. We're going to
get Tom Cruise. No, fuck that.
Tom Cruise. What was I going to say? So I think what is her name? I think actually she was better than the original actress that played her. I think that actually, if you were to look at, here's the best thing that I can say about that. If you were to look at Justice League, the animated series, and then look at her, that's the closest that we've ever gotten to Wonder Woman. And you know, I'm more about, okay, let's try to match up. Let's try to match her up with whoever we can. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I like that, you know, and I probably mentioned this in the past. I like that, you know, because when they first mentioned Gal Gadot, I was like, Gal Gadot looks like fucking 90 pounds soaking wet. How the hell is she going to play in Amazon? Now, you know, I thought you'd get a chick who looks like China, you know, but, you know. But one, obviously Gal Gadot has been hitting the gym because she looks fantastic. You know, they kept, you know, I think they got her spirit down without having her look like some, you know, like a female bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? She just looks incredibly toned and in shape.
Right.
And, you know, and then Gal Gadot, you know, once again, until they announced, I mean, I guess they said she was in Fast and the Furious, and I guess I would have said, oh, okay, the chick from Fast and the Furious. But, you know, the name before they announced her as Wonder Woman, I'd never fucking heard of her. And, you know, but once again, I'm glad they got a no name. Let her build her career on being, you know, so, and
well, she did, oh God, I'm trying to think here. What did she do? She did that movie with Kevin Costner recently. I can't think of the name.
Criminal.
Criminal,
yeah. With Kevin Costner, fucking what's his face? The guy who played Commissioner Gordon in the other Batman trilogy.
Oh, God,
what's his face?
You had to ask me that question.
The great actor. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on his name. But so yeah, Criminal. But I'm saying, but then once again, Criminal came out after she kind of got her name out there. You know, now she's Gal Gadot. But I mean, it's smart. You get these people now where you don't end up like what Marvel did with Robert Downey Jr., where Robert Downey Jr. is like, I could ask for $20, $30, $40 million a movie because you're going to have to give it to me. Get these people young and cheap, so then when later on, you know, you don't have to pay them as much and you continue making these movies because, you know, it's not being cost effective for them to have Robert Downey Jr. in a Marvel movie anymore. Not saying that they're not going to, but, you know, it's easy to get someone cheap and say, we built your career, asshole. Okay, speaking of Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman trailer, it just looks good. I mean, nothing jumped out at me. I mean, I like that they kind of, you know, they addressed all the stuff on Themyscira. You know, all the warriors look cool. You know, people keep comparing it to like the first Captain America, the first Avenger. I'm not getting that vibe. I mean, okay, it takes place in World War I, and I get that. You know, it looks good on its own. I don't think you have to say, oh, this is like Captain America, the first Avenger. No, it just looks good on its own. Right. You got Chris Pine in it. You know, where she kind of like she finds him on the fucking washed up on the beach, and you know, being raised on an island. You know, she's never seen a man before, or at least not a human, not a mortal man.
Yeah, it was really weird that she's like, "Are you a man?" Like he's like, yeah.
I mean, she's seen Zeus, but Zeus is a god. You know, she doesn't know. You know, she doesn't. Yeah. You know, she's never seen a mortal man. But that's, you know, I found that, you know, pretty cool, and I'm excited. You know, I don't know how they're going to if they're going to try to keep Chris Pine. You know, how they're going to keep him alive if he's a guy that's of soldier age in World War I, he's going to be dead by now. Even if he's 120, you know, there's no way he's still, or 140 if he was still alive, or maybe, you know, maybe he passes over into the spiritual realm, and they keep him, you know, when you're in the spiritual realm, they don't age, or some shit like that. Or maybe they just use him for this movie and then call it a day. Once again, I mean, nothing, honestly, it's sad for me to say that nothing really sticks out in the Wonder Woman trailer other than, like, her finding him on the beach, but it looks good. I mean, there's no way in shape or form am I thinking it's going to be a bad movie. It looks fantastic. Okay, a couple days ago, they announced they've erected a Captain America statue, and they're going to put it in Prospect Park, Brooklyn, which kind of pisses me off because if you do your history, people, do your history. Captain America was originally from the Lower East Side, Manhattan, where I was born and raised, and his character, I think even because the gentleman that wrote his character were from the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Somewhere down the line, it got switched over to Brooklyn. You know, there's that scene in Captain America: Civil War where he talks to Spider-Man. You know, I'm from Queens and Brooklyn. So you know,
that was interesting.
They're putting it in Prospect Park. It's only going to be there for 15 days, which kind of sucks. I mean, they should just leave it there. But you know, but once again, I'm a little pissed off because they should have put the statue in the Lower East Side, or at least let it be in the Lower East Side for another 2 weeks also. So let me see what else.
I'm not going to say anything to you.
What was that?
So I'm not going to say anything to you.
Okay, what else? Okay, I guess this is not really a San Diego Comic-Con, but it's fresh in my mind. I want to talk about it. I saw Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah, I know. You fucking asshole.
Holy shit, was it a good movie? I was really, really impressed. I mean, you know, the usual, the usual motto is every other movie sucks. In Star Trek, only the even ones are good, and the odd ones are bad. I think this breaks that unfortunate trend. You know, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it very much. Which then again, if that was the case, that would say that the first Star Trek, the one directed by J.J. Abrams, was bad, which it wasn't. That was good. I didn't like the one with Benedict Cumberbatch. I didn't like Star Trek Into Darkness. It was pretty good. It's funny, even though it's not J.J. Abrams directing it, there is a J.J. Abrams influence, and I'm not talking about lens flare, like over here. No. There's a, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's towards the end of the movie where it's obviously clearly influenced by J.J. Abrams. Justin Lin, director of some of the Fast and the Furious movies, did this one. I don't think it hurt the movie in any way, shape, or form. Like I was telling Paul earlier, you know, yeah, okay. Towards the end of the scene, there's a scene in the movie where Chris Pine is on like this Harley Davidson. He's on a motorcycle riding around on an alien planet. And okay, when you have a director like Justin Lin, and there's I don't want to. It'd be going too much into spoiling it, but it's an action scene, and it makes sense. Okay, he could do that. But what I really liked about the beginning of the movie, without spoiling it, is you know, there is a real sense of like them being alone in the universe. Like, you know, like we are light years away from any other fucking place, and all we have are the people on the ship. All I have is my crew. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We are in the vacuum of fucking damn near infinite space, and you know, we're all we got, and you know, we're visiting hostile planets and you know, stuff like that. So I dug that vibe in the beginning of the movie, and once again, without getting into spoilers, but it's not really because this was in the TV spots. Idris Elba is the bad guy in this movie, but if you watch the TV spot, there's a scene or you can see him look human. You know, but then in the commercial, the big bad guy, like, you know, one of the lines from the trailer is like, you know, Zoe Saldana Uhura says, you know, oh, my captain's gonna come and he's gonna come and save us, and then you know, Idris Elba is the alien, all in her face, like I'm counting on it, you know. So I was kind of confused. I'm like, how do you take a guy like Idris Elba, who's known for being good looking, known for being, you know, he's a famous guy, he's a name that everyone knows. You know, how do you put him in a movie and then cover him in fucking makeup? It doesn't make any sense. How do you? Why would you do that? You know, but then again, they find a way to get around that little loophole, and they do show him as Idris Elba, you know, or you know, without makeup as a human being, and they kind of have a nice little twist on that, on how they bring that up. Like I said, I was just like, you know, because if they just needed a bad guy, you could have gotten any character in the world. You could have gotten any halfway decent actor, paid him a third of what you paid Idris Elba, and have him be the bad guy in a Star Trek movie.
Right.
But they kind of explain it, and then you see Idris Elba as a human and an alien, and that's not really spoiling it because, you know, you'll have to watch the movie to figure out how that happens. So that, you know, it was so good. I would say about if you want to cut the movie into like 4 parts, I would say like the second quarter, if that makes sense. That was kind of boring. You know, then it kind of amped up. I don't think you know, people feel like Star Trek movies are supposed to be like these big cerebral movies. This one didn't have to be like cerebral, like, you know, this is all about, you know, negotiations and politics. But like I said, like the two main themes is like, what are you without your crew? Like if you're a captain, right, you know, without your crew, you're nothing. And you know, and like I said, and I kind of like the beginning part where it's like, once again, you're in space, you're by yourself, all you have is your crew. You know, so I really dug that. Of course, everybody came through. You know, it broke my heart seeing Anton Yelchin who plays Chekhov, and he's a big part of this movie. I mean, I don't know if maybe they went back and they got every scene they could and they spliced it back in, because he's later on in the movie when when the shit hits the fan, for the lack of a better term, he's with Kirk. Anton Yelchin, he shines in this movie, and it's a real fucking shame that he passes. And they do, and of course, it has been announced they are making a part 4. They did leave enough breadcrumbs in the movie where, like, okay, they could make a part 4 if they really wanted to.
It's supposed to be with. I was thinking about this the other night. They should just name it Star Trek 4: The Search for Thor.
That's funny.
I'm sorry.
Star Trek 4: The Search for Thor. And it makes sense because, Chris Hemsworth, who was at that time a relative no-name, plays, James T. Kirk's father in the first 5 minutes of the first reboot, Star Trek reboot, the J.J. Abrams one. He's in the movie for 5 fucking minutes, and they're an emotional 5 minutes. Those first 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh yeah, no, it sets up the whole
rip your fucking
trilogy,
heart out.
Yeah.
So now they said, okay, well, loophole. We're gonna fucking find a way to get Thor in this movie. We're gonna get Chris Hemsworth, excuse me, back in this movie. So speculate all you want. A transporter accident. They travel back in time. Some sort of hologram. There's a million ways you can bring James T. Kirk's dad back. Like I said, I heard it. I heard it on another podcast, and I think it's gonna be one of those like transporter accidents or something. Like he was beamed off right before he died, or some shit like that, which would totally undercut the whole beginning of the first movie. But okay. So once again, if you haven't seen it, if you're a Star Trek fan, go see Star Trek Beyond. It is so good. Okay, Ghostbusters. Okay, we have to talk about Ghostbusters. I mean,
I haven't seen it.
Most hated, most disliked trailer in the history of YouTube. I think the most hated video in the history of YouTube. Obviously reboot. I mean, the asshole trolls on the internet destroying this movie way before it. Guys didn't even see one frame of it, and they were already destroying. Don't get me wrong. I was mad that there wasn't a part 3, but I'm more mad at Wes Anderson for fucking for Bill Murray getting his head stuck up Wes Anderson's ass, and should have been there been no beef between. My God, why am I drawing a blank on that? There was no beef between Egon and Bill Murray, the actor that played Egon, and I'm sad. It's sad that I can't think of his name right now. There could have been a part 3, but then again, a lot of people say that part 3 was the video game. Was it good? It was okay. It was passable. I think it was badly edited. I know something because I know they had a script for this movie, and I know there are chunks of this movie which were actually people riffing and improvising and stuff like that, and it was a bad combination of stuff that was obviously scripted and stuff that was edited. I think. Put me in that room. Put me in the room with all the takes, and I think I probably could have found a better takes because it was just jokes that just did not land, And I mean to the point of like, and I hate to say it, and I wanted to enjoy this movie, I would say a 20-80 ratio of like actually funny jokes to all jokes all together. Only 20% actually hit. Leslie Jones, and there was a whole thing on Twitter where people were just fucking tearing into her on her appearance. They were saying racist shit. They were saying sexist shit. People just if you read those fucking comments, it was ridiculous. And I'm a guy who gets on. I troll people. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm an asshole. Right. And even I was like, wow, they're saying some really fucked up shit. So I mean, just unnecessary. Because I mean, they her character was a little one dimensional. A little stereotypical. I didn't, they could have fleshed her out a little bit more.
Right.
Kate McKinnon's character was probably, in my opinion, the best part of the movie. Holtzman, the Egon, the scientist, the quirky scientist character, she was pretty good. And it was just more because it was so weird and odd funny. The 20% of the odd jokes that just happened to hit was with her. All the cameos, they pretty much had everybody that's still alive in the movie from the original Ghostbusters. except Rick Moranis. Rick Moranis just doesn't do movies anymore. And one thing I noticed, I saw it in 3D, was that they had, when you watch a movie in the 16:9 format,
Right.
there's the black bars on top and the bottom. Which 10 years ago, people were like, "What the hell is that? I don't want black bars." Before we had widescreen TVs and high definition TVs, and so whenever they had a scene that had special effects like that kind of went off the screen, it would go into the black bar area. So like if they were shooting the proton pack, the rest of the scene would stop at the black bar, but if you're watching in 3D, you would see the proton beam go through the black bars. Or every now and then you'll see a ghost come by and then the ghost into the black bars. So that was kind of like a sneaky little thing, which obviously once they actually show the regular version without the 3D, they can just cut that out. Saying
Right.
it's not going to change anything in the regular version. It just added to the 3D version, which I saw it in 3D only because I don't want to wait another 40 minutes to see the next showing. So I just said, fuck it, I'll pay the extra $2 and see it in 3D. So I don't know. I wanted to like it. I think in all fairness, I do think that they set it up well enough where they could do a part 2. I think and like all superhero movies, the first one, the origin movie, is always kind of like, by the time you get to the second movie and everyone's running on all pistons, I think if they give them a chance to make part 2, Ghostbusters is probably going to be a lot better. Okay, real quick, the new Tick. They show the what's his? I can't. Once again, I'm so bad. I do these podcasts and I forget everyone's name. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's in all those like Nick Frost movies, and he's playing the Tick. The guy who goes, "What a bunch of a-holes," from the Guardians of the Galaxy show. And it's a shame that I guess. We're echoing over here. Are you watching the video on your phone or something?
I'm just seeing to make sure that
okay. Yeah, we're still there. I was like, I'm getting echo. So,
yeah.
the new Tick suit looks like shit. It really does. It doesn't look good at all. I'm hoping it's funny. He's a very dry actor. He's not really like full down slapstick. And then again, Patrick Warburton was a dry character also. So, maybe he's sort of like the straight one in this or whatever, but
who knows? I
mean, Patrick Warburton was pretty good. I mean, they butchered all the other characters, but the suit looks like shit in the new Tick, the teaser frames that they were showing from the show. And I think before we leave,